Oops, I need to be here.
All right, all right, all right. And we are here.
I'm good.
Great evening, great evening, great evening. I am Arthur Pierre Collins, and welcome back to Table Talk with the Diva. I am so excited about the guest that I have today. She is a beautiful woman of God, just flawless in every way possible. And so I'm so excited to sit at her feet and just honor and just pay honor where honor is due. So I thank you for joining me. I am going to ask you to please tag, share, and like, and I need you to tag a girlfriend, a mother, a sister. This is Black History Month, ladies and men, gentlemen, not just ladies, but ladies and gentlemen. We are just honoring the ones that have went before us. So it is so important. This month means so much to me. I can't even express it because my intent was to have my father on, but God called him in October, so I didn't get a chance to do that. But he had someone else in mind, and that is Miss Gladys Lady G. So I just want to thank you, Miss Gladys. Welcome to the platform, and I thank you for accepting the invitation.
Thank you.
How are you doing this
I'm
evening? You
very
look
good.
so beautiful.
I'm very good today. Just
You
waiting.
look amazing. Amazing. Oh my God. So we are going to get started. And normally I have a little house rules that I go through, and I just have to express who I am again to the viewers. I am Pierre Collins, Arthur Pierre Collins, time two, published author, and I am just elated to push another woman into purpose. So I believe in pushing purpose. Negativity is not allowed. There is no room in my space. There's no space or no room in my space for negativity. I believe in positivity because it is contagious. And you all know me dearly, know that words are very important to me. Why? Because we should always frame our world with our words, meaning we speak life and not death. So I just want to put that out there. This platform has been created, and God has given me a mandate. That's right, a mandate to
Okay.
push women. That's right. He's given me a mandate to push women. So what I do is I always encourage and I inspire as many people as I can, because I know that my voice and my message is not tied to everyone, but unfortunately, it is tied to someone. So I have an obligation and assignment by God, and I'm going to do that with everything that I have. So I am elated just to be here at Table Talk with the Diva. So I
Thank
want you to fasten your belts, and we're going to chat with this gorgeous Lady G here. So Lady G, tell us. Let's before we do that, I forgot. Let's do an icebreaker. I always have three icebreakers. So what we do, because words are important,
Yes.
I'm going to give you a word. I'll do
Mhm.
it three different times, and you give me a word to replace that. Whatever comes to your spirit, whatever comes to your mind, I will say it. I may say hot, you say dog. I may say Kool-Aid, you say sugar. Whatever comes to your mind, don't even take a second to think
Wow.
about it.
That's
So
different.
I am going to say integrity.
Boldness.
Come on now. Okay. Second word, history.
Her story.
Say again for me.
Her story instead of
Her
his.
story. Okay. Last but not least, always, 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 destiny.
A goal.
Come on. I can get that. I receive that. I receive that. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. The Diva has given her three words, and so we're moving and we're transitioning into the conversation. I never like to say an interview, but
Mhm.
in the email I may use that word, but that is very loosely because it is a conversation, it is a chat between two beautiful women that are just simply admiring and giving accolades where it is due and just honoring you and everything that you've done. So please tell the viewers a little bit about Lady G.
Lady G is started a limousine service. That's what I'm on speaking mainly tonight. Uh,
Okay.
the first all black female limousine service in the country, which I
Wow.
started over 30 plus years ago. All of my
Wow.
drivers were female, black, and family.
Go
My
ahead.
daughters, my two sisters, and myself. And we drove mainly entertainers, celebrities, and dignitaries. And
Mm.
service has been called, I got the name Queen of Limousine from Reverend James Cleveland. When I used
Wow.
to pick him up, he would always
Okay.
say, I don't want nobody to pick me up but the Queen of Limousine. And I got the name Queen from. But the
That
name Gladys, my mother named me Gladys. And the way I got Lady G, I reversed the name and put the G in the back and
you
dropped the
go
S.
ahead on. Go ahead. I love it.
So
I love it. I love
Lady
it.
G.
I love it. That is awesome. And oh my God. And you were the first all
So was
female,
the first and only.
the
Has
first and only.
has
Come
not been
on.
another all-female limousine service since mine. Neither black
Wow.
nor Puerto Rican. No, just all mine.
Okay, all
Only
yours. Well, that has got to be a great honor to be
I
the first and the only
all
female limousine owner, establishing a company. How
yes.
powerful is that? So I know you've had the opportunity to serve so many of our icons, and I'm sure a lot of them may still be here and maybe not, but you've had the opportunity, so God has granted you that. That has got to be fascinating. And I say that because my husband started driving limousine back in 1996. And so he does it periodically now, but he's more into motor coaches. But it is a beautiful thing. It's enjoyable, and the girls did it. So by the time my girls got to be a certain age, they weren't even interested for like prom. I was like, I don't want a limousine. We've been doing that all our life. They don't want it. So, but I still enjoy it. But that has got to be amazing, and just to see you. And so with you with your hat, I'm really really loving that.
Thank
So
you.
what made you stop? What did you just retire from the limousine service? Or did you
Oh,
sell it? What
I
transpired?
after 36 years, I retired and moved
Okay.
to Georgia. I was in New Jersey. All of my services were done out of New Jersey and New York. And when I moved to Georgia, because of my age, I'm a little bit too old now for the road, but I
Okay.
have been doing book signing tours. I wrote
Come
a book
on.
which is called The Queen of Limousine, and I'm doing
Awesome.
book signing tours promoting my book.
Okay, turn it around for me. Let me see it a little bit closer. All right, the Queen of Limousine.
And the name came from Reverend James Cleveland. Queen.
That is super fired. I love it. I love it. So when did you publish your book?
My book's been out now about 6 years.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, a published author. I love that. I'm always fascinated by women that write their story, share their story, that's not embarrassed or shame. Because sometimes when God allows us to go through things, and when we come through, we
Hmm.
have this stigma where girl, you bragging about. No, you're not bragging about it, but you can share with other people that need to hear your
Right.
testimony where you've been. And it's not bragging or boasting, but when I boast, and I do it a lot, I boast on God, not on
Right.
Pierre, but
Right.
on God, because I know the lifestyle that I lived in the past, it was only because of Him. So I embrace sharing my journeys and helping other women, because I get the DMs, I get the calls, and we talk. And I'm just always blown away how sharing your testimony, can really bless somebody else, because that's what happened to me.
Right.
Wow. I am so loving that. So loving that. So tell me, give me a couple of people maybe that you've actually serviced in the industry. I know you said James Cleveland because he gave you that name. So I'm sure he's
Right.
dear to your heart.
First group was the Temptations.
Wow. Okay.
That was the
You got
first.
pictures to back it up, huh?
They're all in my book. And
Okay.
Sammy Davis Jr., he and his wife, I serviced both of them. James
Awesome.
Brown and his wife. Also, I did all the groups, the Whispers, the Temps, the Tops,
Wow.
the
Come
OG,
on.
um, the and also with Ruby D and Ozzie Davis, I used to
Yeah,
pick up
that is my couple.
in New
That
York.
was my couple.
In New
Yes, I
York,
love them. I love them. That was my couple. Oh
yeah,
my God.
and they
My
were
God.
so generous to me. And every
They
time I went to their home to pick them up, I would have to go inside because it said, and I told my wife, Lady G was going to pick us up. She said, "Oh
wow.
well, I change my clothes because Lady G be styling." So
Come on now.
I had to wait for her to change her clothes to be in competition with me. But I
Oh
always told
my Lord. Oh my God. I
her,
can believe that. I can believe that. And as I go through your social media pages, I always see you're always dressed up and flawless. And I'm just like, okay, well, at her age, I wonder what exactly else are you doing? What are you doing? Because you're always just glammed out. And I love that because that's going to be me at 80. I can tell you that right now.
Oh, yeah. 3 months, I would be 81.
Oh, my God. Praise
And I
God.
like dress because I do fashions. I love fashions. I started modeling over 60 years ago. And I
Yes,
with the Ebony Fashions. And then I was the first Black instructor at Barbizon School of Modeling.
I went
At
there.
the time, all of my
Yes.
students were white, but I
Right.
enjoy teaching. And I've also worked in the mayor's office in Newark, New Jersey for 26 years before I retired.
Wow.
10 years ago, I retired, but I
This
worked
is
quite,
awesome.
and
My
at the time, I'm
God.
still doing my limo service on weekends.
On weekends.
Yes, because
Wow.
entertainers, they don't come in every day. And the days that
Exactly.
they came in and I was working, my two sisters had retired. So they were always able to go pick them up. And then for the
Okay.
weekend shows, I was there ready for them. The
This is
shows, the sound
awesome.
check, and everything.
Wow, wow. So I'll tell you, I want to tell the viewers, please tag and share. We have an amazing, beautiful icon, a beautiful legend that is with us on Table Talk with the Diva, and I'm so excited. So please tag and share a friend. We want to promote Black businesses and CEOs and entrepreneurs and innovators, not just this month in the month of February for Black History Month, which is also was it's also heart disease month, so I'll be talking a little bit about that on tomorrow. But definitely, I need you guys to share and chime in if you have a question. Maybe we can get to it before the show ends. But I am just so humbled. I am so humbled. It's like sitting at a godmother or a grandmother's just at your feet and just hearing you talk. So I remember when I met you, I had just completed my stage production, Clear Vision Through Cloudy Eyes, and you came to the audition with a Fred. And I was so mesmerized and blown away at your
Right.
style and your grace. And you
Thank
were so poised. And I'm just looking like, oh my God. And you were so poised and just walking around. And I am like, okay, this is the real diva. You were very, very, you were so impressive. And I'm looking, I'm just like, okay, Lord, but I don't even have a part for her to play. Like, what could she do? Because I had already
right.
filled the spot for my mom. So there was nobody else. And the aunt was way on the top, Aunt Ida. Thank God for Gigi De Niro. That's my girl. And
Yeah.
so I was like, okay, Lord, what can I do? And I can figure out something. I said, but at some time, you and I are going to connect. And here we are at Table Talk,
Table.
connecting. And I've been watching. And I said, Lord, I've got to get her on the show. And then, not to mention, share a little bit about your relationship with Congressman John Lewis, because when I saw you, I was like, oh my God, is that her? So I remember watching the funeral, on television, and I
Yeah.
took a picture. And then I went to your DM and message was like, is that you at the funeral? Because you were up speaking. And I was like, oh my gosh, she really does know him. And, and then you said, yes, it is. I'm here. And I'm just like, wow. So what was your relationship like with him, you being an activist and you all going through some of what we can't even imagine?
Thank God. Congressman John Lewis came to New Jersey to speak for Senator Winona Lippman over 30 years ago. And I
Okay.
then, and when I moved to Georgia, he had an event and I went to, and I went up to him and I said, did you remember the limo driver? He said, yeah, the pretty limo driver with the long thin. And I said, well, that was me. And he told everybody, oh, meet my pretty limo driver. And ever
Oh
since
my
then,
Lord.
I,
Oh my God.
this
Wow.
is,
That is awesome.
I don't know if you can get this picture.
Um, I'm gonna have to, I can't really make it out
Okay,
as close.
that was Congressman John Lewis and myself when I
What a
attended,
blessing.
and then I got a beautiful letter from him thanking me for participating in some of his functions here in Georgia.
Wow.
And met him
That
on
is
a lot of events, and he
that
always
is
addressed me as
humble.
the pretty limo driver.
That is awesome. How humble is that? I am so honored to know you. And
Right,
when like I
so,
said,
right, that's what
wow.
he did at his funeral.
Absolutely, absolutely. So tell me, what are some of the things? Well, I guess before I jump the gun, you were at the funeral. I noticed you were up, you spoke. So did his like family reach out to you? Because you guys had really, I'm not guys, but you all have obviously had gotten, acquainted, that they felt privileged to have you speak and say something at his service.
His my friend's daughter worked for him, and
Okay.
we were that day at his wake. I guess it
Yes.
was for his service. I was also helping to pass out the flyers and the ribbons that everyone had with his pen on it.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Made that by hand, and that was great. We enjoyed that.
Oh, wow. That was beautiful because you were absolutely stunning. And I think you had a tiara and a choker on. And I was like, this is like some real stuff right here. Real stuff. I am so honored. So, with everything that is going on, I definitely wanted to get your take on, of course, not really. I want to say Black Lives Matter because they all matter. All lives matter. Yes, Black lives does matter. We matter. We count. But some of the things maybe that you kind of have, I don't want to say have adapted, but what are some things maybe you can kind of share just briefly about how times have changed from the 1950s to here we are in 2021? you
Mm-hmm.
know what are some things that, I guess, because my dad would say, I never thought I would have lived to see the day when, blah blah blah, whatever that may be. Or I remember when we could not do, because he would talk about the water fountains and that things like that. Talk about some of the things that you went through, and just maybe happy to see the change where we are today.
Oh, I remember when we couldn't sit in certain places. Going to
Okay.
movies, you had to sit upstairs. I remember years ago, my father, who was a pastor of the Church of God in Christ, he
Okay.
had bought a pretty new car. This was many years. I was small then.
Okay.
Then he couldn't keep that car because he was told Negroes don't drive this kind of car. So they took it
Wow.
from him. But I was
Really?
my mother, when they moved to Florida, my mother was a cook for Eleanor Roosevelt, and my father did maintenance work for President Roosevelt. So I
Wow.
always worked with presidents, and I was blessed to attend Obama's inauguration.
What
And
a blessing. Wow.
yeah, and I've always worked with mayors. I worked in the mayor in Newark for 26 years. And
Okay.
last mayor was Cory Booker, who is now a senator. So I've
Exactly.
always been
Exactly.
around politics, but I never wanted to run for any office. I just enjoy helping the community, and I've
Wow.
always done jobs in the community, helping people. Even when I worked in the mayor's office in Newark, I
Okay.
started a one-stop dress shop because I realized a lot of the young men and young women coming for jobs didn't have clothes presentable to go to
Exactly.
jobs. So I
Okay.
thought I set up a one-stop dress shop where they would come in and get anything they wanted free. And from that part, I realized a lot of them had drug problems. I
Okay.
moved and became a certified drug counselor. And I have
Mm,
been instrumental in getting over 80 people off of drugs in
what a
my
blessing.
New Life
Wow.
Outreach Ministry that I did
Wow.
in Jersey. And most of those that I've gotten off of drugs are now ministers in someone's church and doing great. Only a few of them went back, but most of them are
Okay.
still doing great.
Oh my God. Well, you have got to be so, so, so just, you've got to be so pleased with your walk and what you've done and just being that example and assisting and helping. My God. So, I mean, did you have any idea that you would have met and do all the things that you've done over the years, growing up, especially when you say, let's go back to, they took your dad's car.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
just like, oh my God. And so, of course, he never was able to retrieve his car back.
Oh, no, you don't. If he wanted to live, he wouldn't. And then, too, my family
Wow.
was always very religious family. Most of my sisters and brothers, they're all ministers. I'm an
Okay.
ordained elder myself uh,
Okay.
from the Church of God in Christ, an
Yes, we know.
apostolic. And what I do like about having a spiritual background, there's certain things you will do and certain things you can't do. and you
Okay.
adjust your lifestyle to that. Not that I wanted to be a goody two shoe, but I didn't have too many dirty socks either. So
He said dirty socks. I heard that. I like
no,
that.
and then sometimes you realize that God gives you more than one talent.
Yes, he
And
does.
I was
Come on.
blessed to have done a lot of things at the same time. Like a person make a statement that you can't chew gum and sweep at the same time. But
Oh, yes, you can.
I was able to chew gum and use a vacuum cleaner. I cover more ground, not just sweep at the same time.
Come on. Come
Wide,
on.
wide variety of space and do things. And now that I'm here in Georgia and retired, I really don't do the limo service here, but I
Okay.
do the car service. What I do now is I live in a senior building, and this
Okay.
in this building has to go to the doctors, grocery shopping, or go get the drugs from the drugstore. I meant,
Okay.
and I take them. I don't charge them. Whatever they want to give me, it's okay.
Wow.
But it's a service. I live at Galleria Manor, and they call me Galleria's Diva, but I enjoy
Gallery of Diva.
Galleria Diva. I enjoy
Wow.
helping them doing that. The Uber from Galleria, but sometimes you don't realize when they're seniors, their families are nowhere around them, and
Absolutely.
some
Wow.
of them live in different towns. So when some of these seniors have to go to the doctors or the hospital, no one is here to take them. I mean, the
Mm,
family can't take off from the job every time mom got to go check her eyes or go check her blood pressure. So
absolutely.
I'm available.
Absolutely. Well, you are just a doll. I mean, an angel. Oh my God, an angel down here on
Yeah.
heaven on earth. You are an angel, a godsend. Oh wow, what a blessing. So I pray that, when I become your age, that God will satisfy me with long life, my husband and I, and that we will be able to still be a blessing and help people. This is so, oh my God, you got me with chills. I am loving that because I had no idea that you're still doing is what all that you're doing. And
Yeah.
not that 80 is old, because my dad said that 80, when his birthday came last year, he said 86 years old. He said, that's not no death sentence to me. He said, I believe I'm going to live until to be 100. And
I
he really believed that. Yeah.
right.
Wow. Well, this is just awesome. 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 I tell you, you are definitely a prize. And how long has it been since you've been a widow? Because I know you mentioned when we spoke that your
I,
husband passed away and you
10 years.
relocated. 10
Yeah.
years. Okay. Wow. I'm so sorry to hear that. Wow. But you are still spreading your wings, because I would not be able to tell.
Right. I have two daughters that's dynamic and they really have been through with me through thick and thin.
Okay.
They're in New Jersey. My youngest daughter is a designer, started with Ralph Lauren in New
Ralph
York.
Lauren.
Older
Yes.
daughter,
Yes.
her husband had a consultant company in New Jersey, and she's
Okay.
she's one of the administrators at um, the parking lot in New Jersey. And
Wow.
one great, and I have two granddaughters and two great grandkids. So I
Well,
got
you
two
are just blessed. You
kids.
are just blessed with so much love. I can tell around you. I can tell that you are just blessed. It shows this oozing out of you. You look so good, and then just even your mindset. Because I noticed when my mom got a little more over 70, you could started telling little things where she was forgetting and certain things like that. So dementia and whatever. So it is just a blessing for me because I've lost both of my parents, and my mom she had a brain tumor. So I started to see and watch her decline as far as memory and forgetting things. And so that was like the most hardest thing for me for her not to know who I was. It
Right.
immediately just took me out of here. So I am just honored. Like I said, again, I can't say it enough to be able to chat with you and just hear, about your life, because you've touched a lot. You've touched a lot of people.
And
And I know.
my mom, she lived to be 96, and
Oh,
she had started with dementia, but
wow. Okay.
she was a lively 96. She reminded
Wow.
me of Cicely Tyson. She was really
Really?
she was a very good cook and a very good mom. It was nine of us, nine sisters and brothers, and
Like
now
me.
only just I have an older sister now that's 94 in New
Wow.
Jersey, very lively. And
Yes.
then I have a brother that's 87 in New Jersey also. So it's
Come
just
on.
3 of us left out of 9.
Okay.
But
Okay.
all
Wow.
up and about and doing great things.
So
And
where were you in the number of 9?
I was a baby.
You are the baby.
I,
Okay. 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 Yeah. Out of my dad's 12, it was my dad and then his baby sister, the baby. And so she's the only one left out of them. So, wow. But she looks amazing. My Aunt Ruth is actually, she's in her 70s, but she looks amazing. She's a minister as well, but doing well, doing well. So
right.
you look, oh my God, I am telling you. So I said, if I'm looking for another mentor, I know where to go because I promise you
Love.
have
I
touched
love.
some lives and still
I
doing it,
enjoy,
even.
I enjoy working with young women because
Yes,
some they're overlooked. And some of them think they're
absolutely.
all of that in a bag of chips. So you have to let them know the bag is
Come
burst.
on, come on now.
Come on down. Yes, and
That's
they need guidance. A lot of their parents are very young. So they're
absolutely
there to direct them. I'm not saying be strict as our parents were on us. It was a
absolutely
different time then. But
different time, different time.
but when you got a goal and you see that somebody's trying to do something, you
You
would
help them.
help
That's
them
right. You help them.
and give them
Mm.
directions.
That's right. That's right. And
Right.
that's where my heart is. I'm glad you said that. That's where my heart is. Like I said, I hadn't done everything, but I've done a lot. And so people look and say, oh, well, you don't look like what you've been through. I said, well, that's the blessing of my father. There is no residue. Once he cleaned me up, there you won't see that. You won't know that unless I tell you that.
Right.
Unless you read my book and I shared some. I didn't share it all, but I shared enough to get the point across that dysfunction and the whirlwind of just craziness, I was the poster child for dysfunction. So I get it. And like you said, to help women, you see them. And so that's what I am. I believe in pushing purpose. When I see someone is trying or I see positive things that they're doing or just even in them, and even when they have low self-esteem or no confidence, I'm always that sister's keeper to push them and say, look, girl, let me tell you, you have XYZ in you, and I see this. And if I see it, other people see it, and
Right.
you can do this. You can do this. So I'm always a cheerleader. I just hate because I went through that. And I had a conversation with someone from an agency that reached out to me the other day, and she's probably watching, but she was a blessing. And we talked, and she said that I see you, and she has an agency where she signs authors and different ones like that. And she said, I'm watching you, and you're always busy. You're always putting your hands to the plow. And that really, really inspires me. She said, never mind the disability. And so I told her, I said, well, I've learned and God has shown me that my disability, being legally blind or hearing impaired with hearing aids,
Right.
those are disabilities, but they don't exceed the ability that God has placed inside of me. And so I get excited, but I'm just determined not to allow anything or anyone to paralyze the purpose that God has placed inside of me. So if he gives me something and it drops, I'm running with it, whether the
But
team
share,
is on board.
you want to share
I'm on it.
somebody.
That's right.
When I
I
first
am
met
on.
you, they told me you were legally blind.
Yes, ma'am.
I couldn't believe it. I said, no, she can't be. But
Yes, ma'am.
blessing. You're a blessing. And sometimes all people need is just a little encouragement.
That's
You don't
it. That's
keep
it.
directing and hammering them because the more you criticize them, the more they're going to show you, I'm going to do what I want to do. You
There
can't
you
tell
go.
me nothing. But if you
That's
keep
right.
them humble,
Love and kindness.
I won't do
Yes.
it that way. Here's a better way to do it. And
There's a
they'll try it. They'll try a better,
absolutely.
not this is not the only way, but this is the better way to do it.
This is a better way.
Help
Wow.
you, let me know. And I also belong to the Chamber of Commerce. I mean,
Come on. Well, I don't know if you're signing up, but I am looking for another mentor. I have a coach and I actually have two coaches and I have a mentor, but I'm going to be definitely talking with you because you are just pouring into me. You have no idea how much. And I'm a girl that's just not afraid, a woman of excellence that is not afraid to try. And so now I have some things that I want to do, but I'm going to talk with you before, maybe not, well, next week. I'm going to set something up with you and whatever your schedule will allow. We're going to definitely have to talk because you are definitely inspiring me with some things that is in my heart that God has given me to do. And I'm like, okay, God, trying to figure out how to do it. When should I start? And he's saying, never mind. It didn't have to be perfect. You don't have to have it all together. Just start. And so I am there. And that's why
you make one step, he'll
and
make two.
he made
You gotta
two. Yes, ma'am.
can't just stump. Some people make one
Absolutely.
stump.
Oh God.
And so
I
keep
refuse. I
keep it
refuse. Well,
moving.
this
Start by
is really, really,
you're in right.
yes, ma'am. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I don't want to, I would like if you could tell them how they can find you on Facebook, because I would love for them to just see some of your fashion, and tell them about the runway. Tell them about that I called my sister about this, and I really were tickled to life. She said, girl, I can't wait for this pandemic to lighten up so we can travel, because we'll hit the road together. It's like, so we can go see her in action. And then I have some other things that coming, the Lord is dealing with me and working on toward the end of the year or early spring. So definitely, but I want you to share a little bit about the modeling, and then we're gonna kind of wrap it up. We're gonna wrap it
Right.
up. I won't talk your ears off.
I joined a group here called Seniors on the Runway, and
Seniors
we
on
are
the ground.
55 to 85 years old.
Wow.
And I'm telling you, that's men and women. It's about 22 of us. But we have a traveling crew of about 12 people, 12 to
Okay.
15 travel. And it's done by, we call it Tut Production. And
Yes.
her daughter runs the fashion shows. We have done shows in Atlanta, in Macon. We went to Augusta,
Okay.
Albany,
Wow.
Jacksonville,
Wow.
and we travel, and the shows are just phenomenal.
Oh my God.
Men and women, they
Mm.
they can say, "Are you ready to strut?" And we strut.
Come on. Are you ready to strut? I'm loving that. I'm loving that.
Yeah, and
And
I
I
just
can see you do it. I can see you killing the runway. Oh my God.
I tell people I love to dress because sometimes I get up in the middle of the night and change my clothes.
You know. Now that is too sweet. As my mom would say, that is too sweet. That just sweetened my tea. I'm loving that.
I'm
So
loving
sometimes you just get up and change, going nowhere, just change,
going
just
to
love to look
changing
at.
my clothes. Yes, I started a group down here a few months ago before the pandemic, and it's
Okay.
called the 2020 Vision Circle of Sisters.
Hmm.
And it's 12 of us. Unfortunately, we had to put everything on hold once the COVID came in. But
Okay. Okay.
diversified. One that was in Black Panther's movie. Well, my niece was Shepherd Thompson. She was a special ed teacher. I
Wow.
a breast cancer survivor. I have a domestic survivor in the group.
Hmm.
I
Come
have
on.
an author that wrote a book and was along with Dr. Martin Luther King. And
Yes. Yes.
they said, well, Lady G, why you only pick 12 women to be in your group? And I said, well, you think about it, God only had
Number
12.
12 disciples.
That's
Come
12
on.
months in a
I'm
year.
with you. I'm following you.
Spend a month with each one of my members. I can spend a month with each one, and that's 12 hours on the clock. So that means 12 fit me just fine. And
Just
once
fine.
this pandemic goes, you're going to see them. These sisters are bad. They're,
I am so
they're
looking
so
forward to
diversified.
that.
And I thank God for them.
Wow. I am so looking forward to this. Well, this has just been so, so good to me. It's like sitting talking to my grandmother. Lord have
Uh,
mercy. This has been a blessing. So
Thank you.
I'm going to adopt you. I tell you, your daughters might get upset. Be like, okay, she been calling too much.
No, they're not here. All of my family's in New Jersey.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Oh yeah. I can't wait for the, like you said, when the pandemic lightens up and clears and we get back to some sort of
So
normalcy. Not that we want to go back where we were,
it's going
but
to be a
we
new norm.
believe
It's going to be a
that's
new,
right.
so we're going to have to adjust to it. A new
We're
norm.
gonna have to adjust, and I'm all for change because sometimes change is good. And
I'm
so my dad said there's nothing more powerful than a changed mind. So once we change that mindset
that's
and we get it in our hearts, it's on and popping after that. But it starts here in our mind. So I am so humbled and honored that you accepted the invite to chat with me.
uh,
I pray that the viewers, if you are there, I pray you all are really enjoying this conversation. This lady is phenomenal. And yes, she is a history maker. She has done so many things. And like you said, there is another brown woman with her own limousine company ever. So that is something you should be proud of. And I know your children and your grandchildren are so proud of you. I'm proud of you just to know that you've done it and accomplished the things that you set your hands to do. You didn't give up, and how God has opened all these other doors for you to meet big dignitaries. And not that we worship people. Don't get it twisted. Some people, so not that we worship people, but it's a blessing to be able to be in the same room with them. So God has already told me, he said, your name has been spoken in rooms that your feet hadn't even traveled yet. And so I know that that is coming. I'm excited about it. So I am looking forward to doing some things, but you have really, really inspired me tonight. So I definitely want to just say thank you. So you can, they're able to find you. What is your name on your Facebook page? Because I'd like them to just take a peek and look at you in your fashion, honey.
Well, I dress up every day. The name is Gladys Lady G Dancy, Dancy.
Okay. I'm loving it. Lady G, Gladys,
Gladys
Lady G,
Dancy.
Dancy. So you guys heard it here on Table Talk. On Table Talk, I need you to go to Facebook and check out the amazing, phenomenal diva that is strutting on the runway still at 80 years young, at Miss Gladys, Lady G, Dancy. So check her out, because I'm telling you, she wears some hair wraps, and it's Black History Month, and the head wraps. When I went through and just looking at your page, because I always look at your stuff, but I mean, I went through because I know we were going to be chatting. I'm like, Lord, I need to check this out. And I'm like, she is just something to be reckoned with. You definitely are that force that I hope to be at your age. So it has been an honor and a privilege, and I thank you again
for inviting me.
Accepting. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I'm doing with and encourage another woman to try to do follow your dream. Mine just came about with a dream.
Oh,
and
wow.
I've never been in a limousine a day in my life.
Just keep dreaming. Oh God, I love it.
Because I couldn't, but I wanted it. So
wanted it that enough.
That's it. The man for a stretch limousine. So that's what I bought, a stretch limousine, and all of my white.
Look at you. Look at
it for weddings and proms. That's it.
I'm sure. I am sure you done carried around my whispers and the Temptations and James Cleveland. It was somebody I was going to ask you before that you go. I'm sure you've driven.
I got her and Michael Jackson. I drove them.
Michael Jackson. You have, or you haven't?
I have.
You have. What about Whitney? Because Whitney was my sister. That's my baby in my heart. I love Whitney.
I drove the whole Whitney Houston family. Drove them with.
Well, yeah, because you're from what, Jersey? You said Jersey.
We're around the corner from each other. I'm from Jersey.
Oh, God, yes.
Drive her mom and her father before he passed.
Yeah.
With her family, drove them and all there from East Orange to Newark. East Orange, and I was in Newark, and I've driven all.
You've driven them all. Well, I am honored to know you, honey, to be in the room with you, to be on Facebook Live and YouTube. So this chat, you guys, is being live, is being filmed as we're doing it. So you can go over to Arthur Pierre Collins as the Destiny Chaser to my YouTube channel. So I ask that you share, tag, and please, most of all, subscribe. I am just pushing purpose, and I am asking for your love and your support. So I thank you so much. So Lady G, thank you so much again. And we will be chatting soon. We will be chatting soon. Well, you have a great night.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Take care. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Bye-bye. All right, guys. It was such an amazing conversation. Alexa, Destiny. So we are going to close it out. We are going to close out, and I just want you to know, thank you. I am so humbled for you riding the waves with me and sitting in. So if you no longer see the red button at the top, I need you to check me out and check out the replay. And if you don't see it on Facebook Live on my Arthur's page, then you can go to my channel and subscribe. So I'm asking you to do that for me. Again, please tag, share, and like. I am Pierre Collins, the diva with the destiny, and I am always, always excited about chasing after you. Happy Black History Month. Remember, it is February, and it's all about you. All about you. Take care, and we'll see you next Thursday. Looking forward to seeing you there. Bye for now.
Good night.
Good night. Alexa, Destiny, Fred Hammond.
Okay, here's the area too. I'm sorry. I currently do not know that recipe. What I will see about the data.